We're going to play a game to start off. So everyone at home, we're going to really start the presentation here in about 10 minutes. We're going to play a game. You can watch us play the game. Hopefully we'll be able to maybe put your name in the pot if you stay around till the end for some attendance prizes. So hang out. All right, everybody have their pink card. All right, we are going to play a game called Swag Swap. Can you say that 3 times real fast? Swag Swap. Swag Swap. Swag Swap. All right, so I have a box of fun prizes, all different values. And when I call your number, you come up and you grab something out of the box without looking. You only have 2 seconds, so it's like, or 3 seconds, so you can't feel around, you just grab something. Whatever you get, you keep it. The very first person has to keep their prize. The second person that goes, once they grab a prize, then they can decide if they want to keep the prize that they got, or they can take person one's prize. Yeah. So swag swap. Say it again. Swag swap. Swag swap. Swag swap. All right. So number 1. Do we have a number 1? Yes. Come on up. Chris, do you remember Chris? All right. Close your eyes here.
That's too hot.
Too hot. 1, 2, 3. What did you get?
I got socks.
He got socks. Woo. And Stephanie even said that you can switch those out if you need to be the size.
Perfect size.
Perfect size. All right. So number 2, where are you? Come on up, Dawn. Close those eyes. Close those eyes. 1, 2, 3. All right, inside that cooler is a $5 gift card to Big River Running as well. So do you want to keep that, or do you want to swap with Chris?
I got like 3 of these at home. Sorry.
All right, well, there's a gift card in there too. All right, number 3, where are you? I might not have given out all the numbers. Number 4. Come on up, number 4.
Gotta put up eyes.
1. If your son were here, I'd have to put it higher, right? Ooh, 1, 2, 3. Oh, there was supposed to be 2 of those. 2 bags of goos, or whatever those are called, stingers. All right, do you want to keep them, or do you want to hold up if you've already gone? Do you want to swap for the socks or the $5 gift? All right, you like those. All right. Number 5. Is there a number 5? All right, lucky number 5. That was my volleyball number in high school. All right.
Okay.
Oh, that was not in there. You little trickster. I was like, who put the orange in the box? 1, 2. Ooh, body glide for her. You can have the guy.
All right, yeah.
All right. Do you want to swap? Hold up your prize if you got one already. Do you want to swap or do you want to keep it?
I'm gonna keep.
He's going to keep. All right. Number 6. Number 6. Number 7. Number 7. Number 8. I thought we were going to have 20 people. So number 8. Number 9. All right. Come on up. Right after her husband. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh! All right. A hat. Keep you warm over the winter. Do you want to swap? Or do you want to? So hold up your prize. We got the socks. We got the $5 gift card in the cooler. The stingers. You can swap with your husband. Yep. All right. She's swapping for the socks. All right. Number 2. You were number 15, is that correct?
14.
14, thank you. 15. 15, come on up. It's so exciting to win something, right? Woo, the chamois butter. That sounds good. All right, do you want to keep it or do you want to swap it? I'll keep it. All right, she's keeping. Number 16. 16. Number 17, Devlin, come on up. What'd you get? Food, a waffle and some goo. Would you like to keep it or would you like to swap it? He's really thinking it. He's getting the bike wash. All right, you were 17, number 18. We have an 18 and 19. Ah, all right. 1, 2, 3. Woo! He got the body glide. Would you like to keep it or swap it? He's gonna, and do I have a number 20? Oh, yeah, off of Manchester. And we are having our shoe buy going on until, what was the date, Arla? The 26th. So if you are a member, you get 25% off the shoes and 10% off accessories. I'm sorry. 20%?
Yeah. So if it's full price, it should be 20% off shoes, and then anything that's not a shoe, full price, it's 10% off. The only thing we can't do is electronics. So I am going to show one like really cool massage roller portion, but we can't do it on that. Everything else though is fair game.
Yep. So this is Stephanie, by the way. She is the general manager at Big River Running, and she's going to be doing our presentation in a little bit as well. Okay? And then also stick around. I know you're all going to stick around because we locked the door on you. But everybody online as well, I'm going to try to figure out a way where I can get your names in our raffle and our attendance prizes for later as well. So Chris, if you would. So just a few club updates. I'm going to get my little cheat sheet. We have been doing in-person events, and it's been so exciting because we all know what happened the year before where we didn't get to do anything. So we've participated in a lot of races, a lot of training, and you've probably seen the beautiful tents around. Some of you are new in here. If you ever see that tent around, please don't be shy. Just come up and join the party. We normally have like snacks under there and just people, and that's a lot of where the camaraderie and the fun part of the club comes, is under those tents. So as of right now, our group training, we are still doing Tuesday night rides, and Dave, right here, he's the one that's been heading those up. You've been going almost you've gone every week?
Yes, and we'll continue to ride until it's daylight and weather that usually stops us. So fall is a great time to ride. It's a beautiful time to ride, so come out and join us.
So you're going to start getting them shorter and shorter, correct?
So we might consider moving them up a little bit in time. 6 o'clock doesn't give us much time. We've only got 45 minutes or an hour at the most.
And then how do you update people about that if there is a change?
I always post usually on Monday nights on our Facebook
Okay.
page. So
For those of you out there in virtual land, we do have a Facebook page. We also have a Facebook group. If you are a member of the Tri Club, I encourage you to join the group, because that's where a lot of the updates come through, and you can comment. The page, we need to post more on there, but it's more for like the general public and what's going on with the club. We also have Wednesday morning runs, but I don't know what the daylight is well with that. Thursday, I have an update. Our past president, Angie's been the one that's been grouping those up and going to those weekly. She said this week is probably the last week for those, at least for her, because she said it's just getting too dark. It's hard to get there. But she is planning on doing it this Thursday as long as the weather cooperates. And then the cool part, we have the Whispering Hills swims. We run out Whispering Hills from 8 to 10 a.m. every Sunday. And we have no sign-up genius out. If you want to swim, you show up and you can swim. And we are going to be offering a few swim clinics coming up at Whispering Hills where we're going to do some workouts. And I wanted, and I'm going to have you mention it if you don't mind, and you just got a mouthful of food. Sorry. But our very first swim clinic is going to be on November 7th, and we're getting that on the website later on this week. And Coach Jennifer Meyer is going to be the one putting that on. If you want to say a few words about that. Yeah, come on up here.
So hi folks, yeah, come to Whispering Hills on November 7th. The clinic will go from 8:15 to 9:15. I'm trying to stand up. And so the pool opens up at 8, get there, get dressed. We'll start promptly at 8:15. And we are going to practice the drills and exercises that I covered in my January presentation to the club. So that'll be in the announcement. If you want to go back, that's recorded and on the club's website. But I covered certain things about swimming, drills, and exercises you should do. That was the presentation. Now we get to get in the pool and try them. So that'll be on November 7th. Hope to see you there.
Yay! Yeah, so that's going to be from 8:15 to 9:15. And then we have about 45 minutes after that if you want to hang around and swim some extra laps or put some of that stuff that she's going to cover into practice. So I'm going to be there as well, so it's going to be fun. We have one more meeting this year. It is October 20th, and I already mentioned this is going to be at Richmond Heights. And as of right now, they don't have any COVID restrictions about the number of people. So hopefully the next meeting, we won't have to do the sign-up genius in advance, and everybody will just be able to go. So hope to see you at that one as well. And we are planning our end-of-the-year party, or the holiday party, where we all get together, and that's at Whispering Hills. And Chris, you said there's a date that you're working on. We still don't know. It's up in the air?
Yeah, it's still up in the air.
Okay, but we usually do a dinner and prizes and just some celebrations of what we've all accomplished throughout the year. So it is really fun. Like, you get to meet a lot of people. There's some booze there. No, okay.
Tentatively, it's December 3rd.
Tentatively, it's December 3rd is what he said. So if you want to pencil that in. All right, I'm ready to go. So the club challenges, you can just get through, go ahead and put that up there. And then can I get Mike Duchek to come up here to talk about those?
Yes. Stay. Club challenge first. All right. So I'm Mike Duchek, and I am the club challenge coordinator this year. I have ordered some, or I'm just about to order some really cool swag for our club challenge. If you did any of the races that were mentioned on the website for the Colby Cove Club Challenge, please self-report. I have a hard copy of the report here, and it is available online. So please take a look and see if you are represented on here. If not, if you've done any of these races, please determine how many points you should get for that race and sign up on here. Some of the items that I'm going to be ordering are some tech hats. We're talking really nice logo running hats and some bike frame bags. So please sign up for the club challenge. If you haven't already, just self-report through the website. That's the club challenge. Then for the volunteer, that's the Wilkerson, thank you, the Wilkerson Volunteer Challenge. We had a series of races that we provided volunteers for. If you volunteered at any of those races, same thing. Please self-report through the website, and I have a list of those individuals here also. There will be a cutoff in here. Those individuals who meet the cutoff will receive one of these very, very nice logo seat covers to protect your seat.
It's not a dress. It's a seat cover so you don't have your sweat all over your car.
But it is versatile and will protect your seat, and you can use it, I think, an apron, I think.
Yeah. Wear it to the holiday party.
Also, I have some club logo buffs, or that's the, we'll call it a seamless tube, so we don't do the trademark infringement there. But those items I have, so if you volunteered for any event, you're going to get one of those also. So I think that's all for the volunteer challenge. Just sign up.
So both of these, all of the races for the Colby Co we've already have participated in. So like if you did the St. Louis Tri, if you did the Recplex Triathlon, there was a whole list of them on this website. Report it, get your points, and get free prizes, and we're going to be handing those out at the end of the year holiday party. With the Wilkerson one, most of the races are already completed. There are a few left, right? If there's some MSC races or some other races, there's a few left that you can still get some points for as well. And if you didn't get a chance this year, this is a club challenge that we do every year. So for 2022, you can get on there, and as you start planning out your race schedule, it's really neat. And we always have a lot of members represented at those races, so I highly encourage them. All right, so some other club updates. I'm almost done, and then we're going to get to the fabulous speaker. I just want to say thank you to all the coordinators. I mean, we have a fantastic board this year, fantastic set of coordinators. That's what really keeps this club going. So I'm going to go ahead. Marianne just walked in. Can you come up here? Do you want to give a little update about membership? As she walks in from teaching little kids swim lessons. Good job.
My new part-time job. Do I need to stand anywhere special?
You're good, right there.
Okay. So membership goes throughout the whole year. So those people who have joined anytime during this year, you've got all the rest of this year. Now, if you renew from October 1st through the end of the year, actually through, into January, you will get a special discount We always like discount the membership by like $10. So instead of $45 for individual, you're paying $35. For a family, instead of $55, you're paying $45. And you will get, you know, all of 2022 for that reduced rate. Now, those people that are not members yet, if you wait until the October 1st, you will get the rest of this year as well as all price. Now, but new members that are joining for the first time won't get the discounted rate. They'll get $45 for individual and $55 for family, but you'll get all of the rest of this year to start with us early, and then you'll get all of next year as well. So I'm assuming that our webmasters are back there designing all of this and getting those pages ready, since October 1st is looming very soon. That would be, not Bill. Erwin, well, Erwin, he coordinates with Colby Co., who are our webmasters, and they actually will make sure that the updated pages get out there, and they will let us know exactly when they go live, and so that you can try them out. And usually we have a couple of suckers or volunteers that put their stuff in first to make sure everything flows through. Especially last year, because we had some special discounts that you could get like half off or discounts and stuff. But this year, since we did have a lot of our events, we did some social groups, we maybe not had lots of meetings, but we did have group activities. There's not going to be any special discount other than the normal $10 off. And also remember that your club membership gives you discounts on all the different races from all of our different sponsors, as well as discounts here at Big River and discounts at Big Shark. And hopefully we'll be having our end of year bike buy. I don't know how that works with the bike situation these days, but hopefully we'll have something like that as well. So I know we have a couple new members here. If any of you have not received any of your member swag, like your t-shirt, water bottle, stuff like that, I brought the box in. I have it. We can do with that after the meeting's over, and I can get you whatever you need, okay? But I recognize some new faces, new names on the sign up for the sign up genius. So I made sure I brought all that stuff with me.
Thank you.
All right.
And she does so much for our club, keeping all that straight. Thank you, Marianne. I also forgot to mention, we haven't had a live meeting in a long time. If you're a new member, we have a tradition in the Tri Club.
Oh, yes.
Don't worry, it's nothing bad. It's nothing bad. You get to do a little introduction for the club, and what I don't even remember, like they say their name.
So yeah, do you want to do it now or wait to the end?
Yeah, come on up here.
So anybody who is a new member, do you think should we get him in front of the camera? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Chris is ready.
Don't say anything that you don't want the entire world
So
to hear.
come over here and show your face in front of the camera.
New member Chris, hi.
Yes.
I'm Chris. Hello.
Okay. Is he on video? Can you tell?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. I
And then we
didn't
got
know.
John.
Oh,
What is her
wonderful,
name?
John.
Norma.
All right.
Do you want to
Fabulous.
come up? And we got, I call him out.
Oh, come on up. All right.
New members, welcome.
All right, so can you, we'll just go one by one across and just tell us just a little bit about how you found out about us, any races that maybe you've done or what your goals are. If you are here just as a newbie, you haven't done a single triathlon yet, but you're ready to jump in, or maybe you're a seasoned Ironman already and you want to tell us, a little bit about how you came to us and what your triathlon experience is. So I will leave it to you.
Whoever wants to.
Do you want to go
All
first,
right.
JT?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Just go right down the line.
So name is Josh, but everybody calls me JT. Just started triathlon last year. Moved to the area in November. Found out about the club just through Google. Just wanted to join like-minded people, find people to train with. I guess the most significant race I did this year was the age group nationals in Milwaukee. Did that one,
He's fast.
and hopefully I can continue to improve and get faster. That's just my only goal. Continue to get faster.
Yay, welcome to the club.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Hi, my name is Chris, and people call me Chris. I've been doing triathlon since 2014, mostly sprints, and just see you guys at all the races. It looked like a lot of fun, so I decided to
Oh,
sign
we were
up.
fun. We were fun.
And
Watch out.
I'd like to improve on some, on like my swim and run.
Okay.
So,
Coming to Whispering Hills just later here,
That's
yeah.
exactly it.
All right. John?
So John Chappie, zero tri experience.
All right.
So I am completely new to this sport, but it always has intrigued me.
Yeah.
And so, this past year, trying to find new hobbies or whatnot, I figured, hey, this is the best time to jump in.
Good choice.
And start getting acclimated to it. So, especially going into the winter months, it's just try to keep me motivated.
Oh, just wait to hear about our winter challenge. I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. Yeah.
So absolutely. So I'm looking forward to it. I signed up for Mattoon Triathlon next the 3rd. So yeah, the last chance. And so I thought that might be a good one to dip my toe into because completely easy pool swim and then sprints.
All right.
Bike run after. So.
Well, welcome. It's good to have you. All right, and then we got Norma.
I'm Norma. I've been doing triathlons for a few years, more or less. I kind of like to be a slacker a lot of times. I hate riding the bike, only this last triathlon, the St. Louis one, I actually enjoyed it. So as I'm in the running, I can't stand the bike, which is why sometimes I don't do them because I don't feel like riding that bike. But it's like, okay, it's getting better. I kind of like it now. It's okay.
All right.
So.
Well, welcome to the group. And then I know you walked in late, but she's got new member swag if you haven't pictures up yet.
Okay,
so
yeah,
make sure you see her at the end there.
Well,
Yes.
and here, talking about nationals, now here's how, my first year I didn't know anything, and I got this invite to sprint nationals because like, I made it so no, Then I read this book by Sue Reynolds and very inspirational. And it's like, so I looked up her. They were right there with her.
Ooh.
And I'm like right behind there. It's like, oh man, I would have looked really good if I'd have done this, So now I'm slower, but oh well,
Yeah.
I like the bike now, so I'm okay.
You're out there trying.
And
I love
older, so that's even better.
There you go. All right.
And like Gina said, Jennifer Meyer, who's one of our coaches here, she's sponsor coach. She will be doing a swim clinic soon. And I do have information about Jennifer's and her coaching services, as well as 2 other coaches that we have with the Triathlon Club in your packet, which I'll give you at the end of tonight. Okay?
Let's give them a round of applause. Good job. Thank you. Sorry to put you on the spot like that, but you guys did amazing. Thank you. So speaking of wanting to do something over the winter, Dana Harmon is our Icy Iron Challenge coordinator. She lives in Columbia now, but she still does a phenomenal job long distance. So I'm going to give her a little spiel. We are going to do the Icy Iron Challenge. What that is you sign up to either complete an Ironman, a double Ironman, and maybe we're going to bring it back, the quad Ironman, 4 Ironmen, in a 6-week period. So you got 6 weeks to do it. It's still a lot though, but so you got 6 weeks to do it. You self-report it through our website, and if you accomplish your goal of doing that, it's a real friendly, fun competition among the club. I signed up for the quad last year, and Devlin was in my ear a lot. I had to get on the bike like 20 miles a day the last week just to get there. But it's really fun to you try to compete against one another because you try to be the first one to finish it. But even if you finish, you get a prize. And Mike Duchek said that he has the Icy Iron swag. If you did it last year and never got your prize, he's got it tonight. But we're going to hopefully roll this out before the end of this year. So it will show up on the website. We're trying to roll it out right after Jennifer Meyer's swim clinic just to get you, we're motivated. We're in the pool already. So you'll sign up for it and then self-report your miles. And then we'll have 2 rounds of it. So there'll be another round in 2022. But the point is to keep you active over the winter. Yo, you want to show the swag? Come on up, Mike.
You want to show the swag.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you want me to model it? So this was last year for round 2, the beanie. Isn't it cute? I know, it's cute. And then this was the first round. He's been fighting for buffs and masks, and we told him, no, this is pre-COVID. And then COVID hit, we're like, okay, Mike, you can get some buffs and some masks for our club. So to be determined what the swag will be for next year. But it's always a fun little thing. And then the winners all get an additional prize as well. So she didn't have anything to report about communications. Clothing is Bree Kirstig, and she's not here, so she just wanted me to give you an update. We didn't do kits last year because we already had, and what kits are is what you wear to race in, but we also do jackets, tank tops. We do all kind of different, I'm not wearing any tonight, but I know some of you guys are around the room. But we order this every year. We didn't do it last year because of COVID. We had already ordered some, and then nobody ever got to wear them. So we are going to do a kit buy in 2022. The only bad thing is she says a lot of the factories are like on back order or they're backed up. So she's working on it right now. but some of the lead times are super long. So that order, we might make it sooner than later, just to make sure that we get it in time for next race season. So just kind of be on the lookout. We normally would do it like in February or something, but it has to be earlier this year. So keep an eye out for that. Mentoring is Chris Romanowski, and he said he doesn't have any updates as of right now. Next one. Social and group training. We are always looking for people that want to fill a role in our club, even if you don't want to take like a 100% coordinator role, needing help. The ones in yellow are the ones that we technically don't have a coordinator for. And some people, I know I was intimidated to take on a role, like I don't know if I want to be a coordinator. Well, if you're the group training coordinator, it doesn't mean that you have to be at every group training. All you have to do is help plan those group trainings. So Dave loves to do the bike. Dave, you would coordinate maybe with Whispering Hills, getting Jennifer Meyer in there, getting just things set up like that. So that, I mean, you don't necessarily have to do all the work if you're one of these coordinators. Social, that kind of explains itself, but what that is, it's like happy hours, or sometimes after the race we like to go for like food and beverages. They would help out with that holiday party, things of that nature. So I know Chris our president, wanted to say something about coordinators and about nominees for our new board. So if you wouldn't mind coming up.
Yes, hello. So just want to say, first of all, thanks for everybody dialing in online as we kind of work through this. Our first time doing a hybrid. I think this will probably be the format going forward. It seems like it's pretty convenient for folks that don't want to travel. So special thanks to Bill Sanders here for bringing all the stuff out and schlepping around all the electronics equipments and getting it set up. There's his hand. So thanks to him. Thanks to Big River and Stephanie for hosting us. We appreciate all of our sponsors. So I did want to mention that Mike Duchek, who was up here earlier, is going to be our president for next year's board. And part of his new duties will be to send out nomination requests for 2022's board, so his board. So look out for those in your emails, look out for those posts on Facebook, and just be thinking about people who you think would make a good, who would fill a good role to help make the club better for everybody. And it helps to get a lot of nominees, so we don't get the same damn 10 people, because those people don't like to do it every single year. People like to take a break, and it helps to get new blood and fresh faces in the board. So I think that's been a big help this year. We have a lot of new folks on the board. So anyways, just keep in mind, look out for those, and I think that's it. Yep. So thank you.
Yeah, you can even be a new member and be on the board. And it's not all work. We have a lot of fun on the board. We have a little Facebook group. We make some jokes. We hang out and stuff. So it's a neat role just to also see the behind the scenes of how the club works. So I encourage you, if you're thinking about that, take the plunge and do it. So Frozen Buns Run, we weren't able to have that last year. That's normally our club's race that we put on. Like one of our members, Manny, is going to be the race director for it. He's working on it right now. The last time we were able to do the Frozen Buns Run, we used to have it as a standalone event, but the last time we hooked up with Mike at Big Shark and we went in conjunction with the Nippy Niner. So he's reaching out to, and that worked out really well too, and it didn't put as much stress on us trying to run a whole race by ourselves. So he's in contact with Mike Weiss, and more details are coming on that as well, if we're going to be able to partner with him or what we're going to do with that. And then these are not technically coordinator roles, but it's people that do a lot for the club, the website, Erwin and Bill. Quartermaster, I just take care of the storage unit. Tent hauling, Bill. I just wanted to give a shout out to these people. And if anybody on that list, does anybody have an update or need to say anything about their role? Okay. I have one other thing, and I gotta pull it up here. Before I give it over to Stephanie, we're gonna play one more game, because you know that's what I like to do. So it's called Would You Rather. And Chris, you didn't know you were doing 2 slideshows, were you?
That wasn't in my contract.
That wasn't in your contract. Okay, so would you rather? What you're gonna do, I'm gonna give you 2 options. This is for the audience. Depending on which option you choose, you're either gonna sit down or you're gonna stand up. So will you do the first question for me here? So would you rather run in the extreme heat or the extreme cold? I think we've been sitting around too long. We gotta So if you like to run in the heat, sit down. I like to run in the heat more than the cold. Whoa, I'm in the minority. All right, there's a few. All right. All right, next question. Bike when there is a lot of wind or a lot of hills? Everybody's like,
Is it uphill or downhill?
well, both. Yes. So I think wind, maybe. I don't know. All right, next. Would you rather swim in a pool or swim in open water? I like open water. Wow, I'm surprised.
Are there other people around me?
There's other.
You're never alone in the water.
All right, we're getting to know each other now. All right, next question. Would you rather work out alone or work out with others? I kind of like working out by myself, even though I like people, but I like to work out by myself. All right, next question. After a race, do you eat a burger or a salad? Be truthful. Burger! Salad. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Chris. Chris is a vegetarian. Man, a lot of burgers. Nice. All right, next. After a race, do you want to drink water or have a beer?
Up, down.
You're well hydrated there. All right. Go ahead, Chris. Now we have 3 options. So now you're either going to sit or sit with your hands up in the air, or you're going to, oh,
I do stink.
That's hilarious. That's a typo. But that is a really funny typo. It's supposed to be stand, not stink. So would you rather swim, bike, or stank? No, or run? I think I'd rather, wow. So you that doesn't like the bike, you see the other people like the bike. So look around the room. So maybe one of the areas that you don't like as much, maybe you can partner with one of those people, help you out there, all right? And the last question here. Would you rather complete a sprint triathlon, an Olympic triathlon, or a 73 or 140.6? Do you like the sprints or do you like to go for the long haul?
140.6
Oh, it's supposed to be 6. Look around. Some people like the sprints. I like middle. Man, we got some distance people in here. All right, Chris, make sure that was my last question. All right, do you want to get us back over to the other PowerPoint? So, Chris, you did a great job thanking Stephanie, and we really appreciate you opening your doors to us. Hopefully, the people at home will see more of you in person as well the next time. So, without further ado,
I have witnesses here, okay?
She's getting her microphone turned on by Bill right now.
All good, all good. Hi, as Gina and Chris said, Stephanie with Big River Running. It's a pleasure to have you guys tonight. It's great. I know this is the first meeting that you guys have had in person, so congrats. I'm sure it's great to see everyone's faces all in one area. What we're basically going to talk about today is we're going to talk about what Big River knows really well, feet and footwear. We actually probably know too much. So hopefully maybe you'll find something out new, kind of answer a couple questions. And then what I'm kind of planned to do is I'm going to talk about general foot knowledge, kind of what we do here in terms of our fit process. And then also kind of when you're looking for shoes, like what are some good features to kind of or concerns that you should make sure they're top of mind. So before we do that, I always like to start with to see how much knowledge you guys know. So if you had to guess, what is the average size for a woman's shoe?
7.5.
Keep going. It's 9.5 wide width for women. Yep. So okay, so let's flip it. What do you think for men? What do you think the average size is? 10.5. It is 10.5. What wide? Yeah. So it's 10.5 wide. So it's sometimes I think the women's size is a little bit more of a surprise than the men's side is. And then we're going to do one other question with that too. For you to actually take a step to run, how many muscles do you think are involved in that for that to actually happen? 200. Yeah. And we're looking at the whole body here. And then last 2 bits. Let's see if we have any fellow nerds in the audience. How many bones are in one foot? Close. 26. How about joints? In the foot? 33. So look, the whole point of why we're talking about this, we do a lot of damage to our feet. We put them through a lot of stress. We need to make sure that whether we are life, running, exercising, doing tries, we all know the race is a lot of fun. It's very nerve-wracking. It's the training. That's the real commitment. So that's a lot of wear and tear we put on our bodies, and then moreover, a lot of wear and tear we put on our feet. So I'm going to go ahead and start kind of what we're going to be talking about. And almost there. One more. All right, so kind of the first thing that is general knowledge that most people know, whether it's kind of high, low, or in between, is foot structure. There's 3 main types of foot structure that we typically will see with it. And when you're coming to Big River, we're going to be looking at it 2 different ways. We'll be looking at kind of your physical foot and then where you're shifting pressure when you have a high arch, a low arch, or a medium arch. Before I kind of talk about kind of those types of arches, the big thing that I think a lot of people, it's nice to understand is pronation. Who has heard of the word pronation? Okay, who is pronation, or when they say pronation, they think it's very sad and depressing and things are falling apart. Yeah, so pronating means flexing. You have to, your arch has to flex. If it doesn't flex, you can't walk, you can't run. My analogy that I usually use is exercising. Exercising is good for your body, right? What happens if we overtrain or overexercise? We're gonna get injured, right? What happens if we undertrain and underexercise? Our pants will start not to fit. So kind of pronating is not a bad thing. It's just whether if you're doing it too much or too little. So pronating, flexing. So with these foot structures we're looking at, we have someone with a high arch, and with that, they're underflexing, so they're shifting a lot of weight outward to where it's not kind of bending at anything. Sometimes not enough. Medium arch, we're getting that healthy, a little bit of movement. And then last but not least, low arch. We're flexing really, really well, so much so to where we're kind of rotating in a little bit with it. So for this, we're looking 1, pronation. What do you naturally get from mom and dad in terms of your foot structure? And then what's happening as you start to move, like as you kind of take through your steps or your run cycle. So what we specifically focus on at Big River is we focus on our fit process. So with the fit process, kind of moving to the next slide, is we're going to be taking 4 measures. And these 4 measures are kind of key. 1, foot length. Everyone knows about foot length. That's the obvious one. We're looking kind of from where the length of your heel to the widest part of your foot, so the ball of your foot, your first knuckle joint, is sitting with the widest part of the shoe, which is usually that first eyelet. You also want to check, not when you're sitting, when you're standing. 2 other portions we're going to look at is width. With width, a lot of them are, most people obviously will visually see kind of what our feet look like if our feet are kind of fanning out or spreading out. Another one that a lot of people will sometimes forget is the top of their foot. How tall is their foot? How high is your instep with it? Last but not least, pressure. So pressure, really what it does is it'll kind of incorporate more of that pronation, that flexing. Best analogy I have for this, and all of us will be able to relate with this, whether we are standing or if we're sitting at a desk or if we start our run. We'll first start off nice and kind of standing up nice and straight, kind of we balancing our weight, ball of foot, heel, most of it in the heel. As we start to get tired, what do we start to do? Start to do this hunching number, right? That happens whether we're standing, sitting at the computer, or running. Our feet are the same way. So as our feet start to get tired, that arch will start to slowly start to flex more and more. And as it flexes more and more, we'll literally be shifting more and more weight to the ball of the foot, where the bones are a lot tinier, where you have a lot of nerves that can get very irritated if we're putting too much weight there, especially if we're pounding on it over and over again. So with pressure is really important. Like I said, it's looking at where you're placing your weight. In general, you want to make sure the weight's kind of distributed pretty well between the heel and the forefoot or the ball of the foot. Most of it needs to be in the heel. That bone is huge. It's designed to take a little bit more of a beating with it. So this is kind of the measures we're looking at. The next stuff is really important, kind of the purpose of what you're using it for. So for this kind of stuff, it goes anywhere from injury, which is kind of the obvious. Usually people are very excited and eager to explain all the issues that they might possibly have. But what's really important is looking at what are your goals? Where are you exercising? How often are you exercising? Aches and pains obviously is the obvious one. Does weight have an impact with it? Do we need versatility to where we're doing a lot of our running, but we're also doing a lot of our cross training for it? So these are kind of all aspects that we want to be able to make sure we consider and make sure you're having an open dialogue with whoever's getting you, helping you find a pair of shoes with it. I would say one of the big ones, which we're gonna kind of address in a little bit, is that heel to toe drop. That's a big one that a lot of people will hear about drop. And why does that matter? What does that affect? Amount of cushion. Why does that affect? Why is that? But before or like that. So we have that kind of stuff. You have more people that'll do really successful with barefoot shoes, whether it means they're running actually barefoot or if it's just more of like kind of a Vibram mentality. And then you'll have kind of, as you go, kind of that happy in between to where you'll have more of a minimal to where we're going to have some cushion. We won't have tons, but your foot's going to be doing a little bit more of the work. And then down at the bottom here is kind of our tried and true, which has been around a little longer. Doesn't mean that's always the successful way to go, but it's more that traditional shoe where we're looking more of a supportive shoe, something just cushion, and then something that has tons of support in terms of the motion control with it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to kind of look broad strokes in terms of some of the differences in terms of that midsole component for the next. So here's kind of in the nice little box with all these options, and we're going to kind of address all these guys, whether we're talking about neutral, just tons of cushion, stability, or the better term now is guidance. That's the more friendly term. We don't want to overcorrect. So if you come in and say stability and they say guidance, you're basically saying the same thing. It's just more kind of how they're approaching it with it. The ones that we have on the bottom here, we have our trail, which we'll kind of look at. That far fun one is the racing shoe that a lot of people will always be excited, kind of the innovative things that happen. And then right in the middle is motion control. And with motion control, the easiest way for it to do or not do, it's preventing motion too much going outward, so that overpronating, going inward, and then that supinating going outward portion. Yeah, what do you have? Okay, so where they're putting their support with the shoe. So what's going to happen, and the next thing we're going to actually talk about, you like queued me up perfectly, so thank you, sir. With this next slide that we have, we're going to start to talk about support. So the two main ones, there's a couple different ways you can get support in shoes. The main way, which we'll talk about first, just like you asked about motion control and stability, is they'll physically putting something firmer in the shoe. So what that means is when you're looking at the shoe, let's see what we got. You're going to have something to where the midsole, so what we're looking at is kind of, this is where the guts of the shoe is, this portion here. So the larger you get, the smaller you get it. That's going to show you how much is kind of going obviously between you and the ground. Typically, not always, but when you see a little bit more of a darker color as opposed to white or a bright color, usually that signifies it's something a little firmer with it. So when we're looking about something that's called medial posting and guide rails, medial posting or the traditional stability would be something to where we're getting tons of support on that inside area, because what it's doing, support is kind of like adult supervision. Your foot is over-pronating or over-flexing to where we're starting to rotate in, and that posting is keeping us propped up. It's trying to compensate for something that's going on. A friendlier term, like I talked about before, guidance. Guidance is basically with the guide rails. It's basically you're getting support on both sides of your feet to where I either use kind of the analogy of using it kind of like it's like a horseshoe that's kind of going around that heel, and it's not letting us rotate in or rotate out. Or Brooks actually likes to use the analogy of it's kind of like bumpers for bowling. So it's not going to let you go too far to the right and not too far to the left. So that's putting something physically firmer. Another way you can do it, some people do not like something feeling like it's firm, kind of pushing into their foot. What you can also do is the way that you can do support is by doing support to where you have a broader base. So what that means, just as you would imagine, it's like tires on a bike or a car. So when you look at a shoe, and as we start to kind of trim in this area to where we get that very distinct kind of hourglass look, it's very light, but what happens to the shoe, you have a little bit more torsional twist in the shoe with it. So this one, with this right here, when you have that kind of narrower kind of midfoot area, it's a little bit more forgiving, whereas when we get something to where it's nice and broad, it's like that nice fat tire on a bike. You guys can definitely understand that and relate to that. It's a little bit more of a smoother ride with it. So platform can be one way to do it, putting something physically firmer with a medial support or guide rails. And then the other way you can do it is like I just showed before in terms of twisting the shoe. The more you can twist your shoe, and I would kind of encourage you guys, maybe not now, possibly, but later, pick up the shoe and twist and turn it. The more you can twist and turn it, the more your foot has control in the situation as opposed to the shoe with it. And then another way you can look at it in terms of the amount of support you have is where does the shoe bend? Typically, when you're looking for shoes, if it's a shoe built for a lot of time on your feet, or if you're having a lot of issues with your feet, your ankles, your knees, your hips, all that good stuff, we don't want to ever be able to bend the shoe in half right here. The one spot we should be able to bend is right in the ball of the foot, right where you're kind of pushing off to get that strong kind of propulsion that we're looking for with it. So those are kind of some of those nice ideas in terms of when you're talking about support. So we have something physically firmer, we have something nice and broad or narrow, and then that torsional twist. How is your shoe twisting kind of like a towel, and where is it bending for us? The fun part is cushion. Usually that's probably one of the top things that we get people that get excited to come in. They say, I want tons of cushion padding. So with that, when you're talking about cushion, we're talking about stack height. Do you like something super, super thick? Do you like something super, super thin? For some people, depending on injury, sometimes extra cushion can be very helpful to absorb impact for the joints, whether it's your ankles, your knees, your hips, your back. Other people